This episode starts off with Steven seeing something in the warp stream. The gems don't believe him because they say that there's nothing out there. But Steven cannot sleep at night. He's getting terrified, and when they finally get there, we find out that there's more than one gem out there. You see Peridot for the first time, and it is absolutely terrifying and extremely dark. On the Run actually starts off really happy. Steven and Amethyst want to have a fun adventure and be like the No Homeboys, which is a book that Steven is reading. Now, Steven then finds out later in the day that he really doesn't want to be a No Homeboy because it's not that fun. Amethyst says that she still wants to and even tells Steven a whole bunch of things about her, like where she was made and all that kind of stuff, which she should not be telling Steven, like Pearl says later. She goes to this creepy place called the kindergarten where she's made and even shows the exact hole she was made in. She fights Pearl and even says that she never asked to be made, which is just, my gosh. This episode starts off with Steven having a nightmare about Lapis. She tells the gems about this, and then they say that he might be able to communicate with her that way. And at this time, she's under the sea, and, well, they can't talk to her, so he goes to dream again, and he actually can. Now, each time he dreams, it gets darker and darker, and he even sees malachite and jasper, and it's just extremely dark. It's an extremely amazing episode, and you just gotta check this one out. It's dark, it has action, it's really cool. So as we know, Rose is dead. Now this, I'm not trying to be funny, but this isn't explained deeply until Rose's Scabbard this episode here, which is what I picked. Now, Pearl, without a doubt, was the closest to her, and this is explained here as in, she knows all of her secrets, Rose told her everything, and when this lion knows about all the places that Rose has been, like all of her secret areas that was only told to Pearl, she gets jealous and confused that, how does this lion know this? How did I not know that the lion knew this and all that kind of stuff? She ends up having a huge fit, she runs away, and Steven chases her, gets really sad and all that kind of stuff. And Pearl's crying, and there's a lot of crying, bunch of things happening. And so Steven takes a leap of faith and almost dies, and Pearl just turns around. Steven eventually gets up, which leads to probably the saddest moment of the show. And yes, it's just extremely dark. So it's Steven's birthday, and they celebrate his birthday, and he asks himself, since they're not having fun at all, is he too old for birthdays? Because the gems are, and then he starts wondering that also. He starts getting worried and walks around town, and he starts becoming older and older and older until he's about to die. What? What? This is a kid's show, right? I mean, like, come on. I can't even believe they made that. It's a great episode, though. But man, God, is it dark. This is another one of those episodes that starts off really, really happy. Steven activates his mother's room when the gems told him not to, and he goes in anyways. He plays a bunch of games, but then goes out for donuts. He then goes to his town, but it's like possessed and all creepy with a bunch of stuff. Like, seriously, it's one of the creepiest moments that I have ever seen in a kid's show. Just look at these images I'm showing you right now, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a great episode. It was in my top 3 last time I made a top list for one of this stuff, and it deserves it. It's also one of the darkest episodes. In this episode, Pearl starts teaching Steven how to be a sword fighter. He's not interested in it, but decides to watch her fight a hologram Pearl. She gets stabbed. No joke, and you see all of it. That is the main reason it's on here, but there's even more dark things. The Hollow Pearl starts following Steven creepily, like that. And then at the end of the episode, it starts fighting him in just an epic action scene, just like some of the other ones here. And it's just nothing short of entertaining and dark. It's freaking ridiculous. Pearl cleanly gets stabbed in the back. In a kid's show. Even gets scared about dying. in a kid's show. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. Garnet shows him future vision and thinks that, and then he starts thinking that everything can kill him because she can see a bunch of things like him getting hurt or good stuff, but he thinks that he's gonna die and just keeps on doing things that he's not supposed to and keeps on thinking in the most disturbing ways that he's gonna get killed. And it's just really, really dark. For this episode, I gotta make this clear. I am talking about The Return and not Jailbreak. I know it's a two-parter, but Jailbreak is not that dark, and I want to talk about The Return only, okay? Got it. So, in this episode, Steven sees that there is a big hand ship coming down to Earth, and for the first time in the show, you see the gems really nervous. Also, Steven's dad says that the gems are like aliens, and then you see a bunch of creepy scenes, and then you see this team come out here with Peridot and this giant freaking thing, Jasper, and you get horrified. Not only that, Jasper beats the crap out of Garnet, and you see this crappy image, then grabs Steven and headbutts him, and then Jailbreak starts. This episode starts out with Peridot having a plan, and then Garnet and Steven go to find out what she was doing. Now, in the kindergarten, we find out that she's taken pieces of dead gems and putting them together. And they're suffering too. Just look at the picture. And so, it's freaking horrifying. We see Garnet really, really scared and sad too. And then we see this freaking gigantic gem come out, and it's just nothing short of terrifying and dark too. It is by far the darkest episode of the show that I've ever seen, and I don't even know if it can be topped. Like, seriously, I have never seen a kid's show this dark before. And you know what? That's just something that makes Steven Universe so great. I mean, never have I seen a show like this. It's just fantastic. So, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.